Well, I mean, this is rather random. Motorsport Manager Mobile 4 review, thoughts and feelings. Yeah, let's go through the new features from what I've seen. Strategists are new in this game. They're sort of like what engineers used to be on Motorsport Manager. What was it? Motorsport Manager 3. Another new feature is car focus. You can focus the car's development. From what I believe, I've not actually used it yet because I've only done one video on it. You can focus the car's development in the driver's favour, like Red Bull do for Verstappen. Practice sessions. These practice sessions are very reminiscent of F1 game quick practice sessions, as you can see via the menus. Yeah, but they were cool. Elimination, qualifying and pole shootout. I don't know if these are used in all series, I hope not. But yeah, as you can see, there's an elimination count in the top left. And what that does is you have 10 minutes, which is normally about 2 runs, and whoever's not in the top 10, as you can see from this screen, goes out. They're out of the elimination zone. Then there is a pole shootout, which is, annoyingly, if it was like 8 minutes, you might be able to get 2 runs. But if they want you to just get 1 run, they should make it 3 minutes. I think 5 minutes is a bit too long. You should just end up sat in the pit lane for about a minute. It's a bit useless. So yeah, that's cool. That's a new addition to F1 Manager. No, not F1 Manager. Motorsport Manager Mobile 4. Yeah, which is decent. Sprint races like we've seen in F1, and that's probably the reason they're in this game. I like the way they've added it so you can add the driver's aggression counter. So it's like 4 bars of aggression is they have a lot of aggression, a lot of boost, but they could crash at any given moment. Then you can go medium, low, and all that. Just like you can do a low, just like I do with these two. They get up to 1, 2, you know, they drive away. But making a mistake could really hurt them in terms of championship. Unfortunately, from this, what I've not seen, it's not like the F1 point system as you just saw there. It is very random how they give out points. I'm not too sure about it. But yeah, sprint races are a cool addition. Now the main selling point of Motorsport Manager 4 is the 4D modelling. It is very nice. It's a lot better to look at than counters that just go around the track. It's nice to see how drivers actually make moves, start racing. But you can see drivers just cut the track stupendously, goes through each other. The thought process and the graphics are there. The graphics are stunning on this game. For a mobile game, it looks absolutely amazing. But the way they've implemented it is just not the best. Not like Motorsport Manager could do, like they have the funding to do, I'm sure. But Motorsport Manager Online, I quite like that. I don't know if this, I can't remember if they goes through there. Oh, see, as you just saw there, my driver just ghosted through about 12 cars. It's not the best, but it is very good. The whole new graphics. Let's talk graphics for a moment. Graphics in the menus are stunning. They look great. It looks more like an actual, like a game you'd find on like a Nintendo Switch or something, because I do believe they do this on Nintendo Switch. And it looks like something you would find. However, I'll get into the pros and cons in a minute. There is something very, very annoying about this game. But yeah, the graphics are stunning. It's a really pretty, beautiful game. And it does look like there's racing cars. And now that you just saw there where the car spun, that is what I mean by the car modelling not being done properly. They should have made the car actually spin rather than it just having a label on it and saying spin, because when they had the little counters, the counters would actually spin. The counters would do a little twist, spin, and yeah, they'd actually spin rather than just stay still and have an arrow saying spun. So yeah, but the 4D modelling is a very nice addition to have, finally, a Motorsport Manager game. So that's the new features, but what's actually good about the game, and what would make you buy it? Now for me, one of the big good points about Motorsport Manager is the way you can develop a car. As you see on the right, you can see the car performance, where the car is good, where the car is bad. Like my car is really bad in terms of fuel efficiency. And I saw that when I pushed the fuel, it would use like half a lap's worth of fuel. It was mental. Car focus as well. This is something new in Motorsport Manager 4, which I talked about earlier. But being able to develop your car in the way of one driver. I don't think you'd use this in the lower down formulas, but when you get to the highest level of racing, it would be good too, because then you can develop the car in favour of the one who's going to be a champion. Say if you've got someone in second fighting for the championship and someone fighting for 12th and being nowhere, you're going to have to favour the person in second. And I like the introduction to R&D. I've not used it yet. As you can see there, that shows an analysis of what my new brake ducts have done. And you get the little, you see the 3 orange circles. Those will provide a bonus in the race. I think it'll be like, oh yeah, they're really good at qualifying, or they're really good in the wets, they're really good at keeping their tyres alive. As you can see by this graph coming up, you can see wet weather hero, rocket starts, qualifying legend, so you get boosts, error proof, pit stop pro, streamlined, first lap freedom, super overtake, super attack. So that will allow you to push the car more and push the drivers more just by developing your car in the right direction. Another thing they've introduced is R&D, which for the moment, from what I've seen from that, you are allowed to develop things like your own engine and stuff like that, which is crazy to think we have that in Motorsport Manager, but not something like F1 Manager or F1 23. And here's the little bonuses from each of the designer they bring to the car. And they also have a success rate, which means, as you can see there, 67% better, 37% worse, which could boost the part or make it slower. And yeah, parts cost money, but it is nice to see this in Motorsport Manager, and I would argue it's better than F1 23, but worse than F1 Manager. You see, now for me, Strategist is a weird one, because Strategist is like part of the whole managerial experience, as you know, deciding the strategy. But I guess team principals don't do that in real life, so it makes sense. I also like the boost they can give, like soft tyres where 8% slower, medium tyres where 18% slower. That will give your driver a boost in performance in their tyres. It will allow them to push more, so I like the way they've done that. I just feel like it's good. Is it that noticeable? Yes. But I feel like you just decide the strategy anyway, and you have to tell the drivers to pit anyway. So it's more like a planned strategy that they just try to execute. But yeah, it's still a cool feature to see, like strategists part of this game evolving, and if you increase their relationship with their strategist, then you can get more boosts. So I like it. I like the inclusion of strategy. Number 3 for me is graphics. Graphics is a big part of racing games. How the cars look, how the driver models look, how the graphics on the screen look, the graphics behind the scenes. But they've done them really, really well. It looks like a racetrack, you know, it looks like something you could see in real life. And for a mobile game, it's got to be up there with one of the best games in terms of graphics. It's very, very good. I spoke about them earlier and I'll speak about them again. It's just, they're so good. Like, look at that fastest lap. You can see that. That's so good. I don't think there's much to say about them, but it does look very nice. It's a very pretty, aesthetically pleasing game. And it is a part of what you see, like things like that need to be fixed, but other than that, it's a very nice looking game, especially on the racetrack. Behind the scenes graphics as well, like the menus are very pretty. Calendar, championship order, you know, you can see everything, like how much the championship's worth. Just look at that, the livery designer's epic too, the little where you're racing at graphics, like the menus, and I'm not talking about menus because F1's had the same for 3 years, but the menus are very nice, very, very nice. They got a nice colour to them, they're bright, you know what you're doing, you can see what you're doing. You can't make a mistake, basically. You can't make easy mistakes for this game. It wouldn't surprise me if I did, but yeah, it's a very pretty game. And the headquarters, when you see the headquarters, those look just as good, if not better, maybe not better, but definitely on par with F1 Manager 23's graphics. Yeah, it's just amazing. You can see everything clearly, you can tell what everything means. And back in Motorsport Manager 1, when that game came out, Jesus Christ, you could not see a thing. But just look at the headquarters. That is amazing graphics, and the livery designer looking the sponsors. This game is just very nice and appealing to look at. Now I think it's about time we get into the bad stuff about this game. Not that there's much, but the first one that really bugs me is microtransactions. To get Game Editor, you have to pay another £6. You basically have to pay for the game twice just to be able to edit drivers, teams, engineers' names, and it's very annoying because this game's target audience will be people that maybe don't have a console or don't have a PC or don't have things like that can't afford a proper F1 game. So to make them pay for a lot of stuff just doesn't seem very right. It just doesn't, like, who's going to buy that? I feel like you should get Game Editor for free when you buy the game. Maybe that makes the game more expensive, who knows, but it shouldn't really be. You shouldn't have to pay to edit people's names. You didn't used to back in Motorsport Manager 2, and they brought it in for Motorsport Manager 3, but it was cheaper, it was like £3. Now in Motorsport Manager 4 it's £6. So to get both chairman's payment and Game Editor, you're going to have to pay £12. It just doesn't seem very right or very fair on the player. You have to buy so much just to have an authentic experience at Manager game. Number 2 for me is setups. I hate the way setups work in this game. Just make it like racing cars or F1 cars, like front wing slider, rear wing slider. Just make it like a proper setup builder rather than these little flash card things. Like you could, I'm pretty sure, in Motorsport Manager 2. You could pick like high downforce, slow downforce, fast in the straights, slow in the straights, quick in the corners. Like high speed cornering you could pick, or it was high speed, low speed or something like that. it was a lot better than what we have now. These cars, I don't really feel give an authentic sort of reality to how to make setups for F1 cars and things like that. Sorry if you can hear the drilling in the background. I just don't feel like it's very authentic, or like it shows much to replicate how you build a setup in F1, and that's what it should be doing by being a manager game like it does in F1 Manager. But maybe that's just me getting too nitpicky, you know. Number 3, I think this is AI. I like the addition of 4D modeling. I think it's great. But the AI just don't seem right, like you see in this clip where they're fighting in qualifying. In real life that just wouldn't benefit you in terms of lap time. The blue flag system in qualifying is quite poor, as you just see there, they're fighting in quali. They're fighting in quali again on the fast lap. They need to like move out of the way, but to be fair, even games like F1 Manager doesn't do that properly, so that's not too bad. But at least F1 Manager has something in about that they've just made a dive bomb down inside in their quality lap. You wouldn't be doing that in real life. But they can go real to in the race. Like, they are very good in the race when it's a 2-wide battle, as you see there, making good defensive moves, making a counter lunge. But as you see here on the last lap fast sprint, our driver out of nowhere just gets absolutely bullied when loses 5 places. Like, I don't know how that happens. I don't know where that would come from. It's just very annoying. And this clip from Belgium just highlights it. The way they goes through each other, like the way they're just not very cutting corners, not really working well. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. But it is when it's 2-wide racing, as you see there, he just goes through so many people. When it's 2-wide racing, it massively adds to the game. When it's anything more than that, it just looks very unrealistic. Yeah, as you see there, it's like 2-wide battle, late on the brakes, defends well, gets counter-attacked by 2 cars. Like, it is very realistic. But here is just where it goes downhill. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars just goes through and then cuts the corner, right? It's a great addition. It's just they haven't found everything they can. What would you rate it? Personally, for me, it gets a 7 out of 10. Anyway, I think it's a good game, just needs more updates. Anyway, let me know what you thought. Like, subscribe, and come back again for the second episode of Career Mode.